I'm Jackie from Real Manchester, and since the last project we did about Booth Hall, all I know what to do is come back to Langley to work, you know, because I was born in Langley and I'm from here. So I've wanted to come back, so I've been putting together, and I've worked with Kallum, who's local, and Jamie and Matt, and we put a bid together. What is this year the centenary of?
World Cup.
World War I. Right, so it's 100 years, and we thought what would be more fitting for us to do is to write our own poem as a tribute to all our ancestors who died during that time. Because there's probably not one of us in this room who didn't have a family member or a relative who was there, because it affected every single family from across the country. And so we're going to start to take you on a journey where you'll understand why there was the war, what happened in the war, who was in the war, and about some of the local people. And especially what we want to find out is your relatives. So 100 years ago, Langley didn't exist. You know, all of Langley, all the people from Langley came from other parts of Manchester or Ireland or lots of places, and they moved to Langley in the 50s. So that's going to be our starting point. And once we've done all our research and we start thinking that I'm not a poet at all, I'm going to bring in a poet called Tony Walsh. He was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you remember him from the premiere, the man who did the poem about the NHS? Well, he's going to come and work with you. So you're going to write the poem. Right, so we'll have two things, a documentary of how we get there, and all the research and what we learn, and how we do it, and what we come up with, and there'll be a film of the poem.
Well, after seeing the article in the Milton Guardian, what Jackie wrote out, my first reaction was I saw the story. I'm a local lad that's from Langley. I've done a bit of local history and family history in the past that was to do with my great-grandfather, who was actually in the Lancashire Fusiliers. I thought that with my knowledge of my history and things like that I could obviously, what I could bring to the project and the expertise that I've got that I could bring to the project as well, I thought it'd be helpful. Obviously from me knowing things in the past, I was sort of introducing the group to new ways to look at how it started and sort of bring it into context that they'd understand. Obviously looking at things like how England got involved in the First World War, how things happened that altered the course of history for us, so that obviously I can bring things like that into a generation that are obviously a lot younger than us, and obviously they can go back and take something from that and learn about how it affected their family.
Came off the back of the Angel Booth Hall project with Lauren and Grace. I wanted to get them involved in this, and I've ended up getting involved in it myself. I'm really loving it, it's fantastic.
I wanted to know about World War I. I have studied World War II, but I was intrigued to just go back further about World War I.
Last year I did the Booth Hall project, and that was like really good, and learned a lot from that. So I've been in touch with Jackie again because like through Facebook, and my mum knows her, and then she asked me to do this other project, and I'm quite interested in like the World Wars anyway. So I've wanted to like learn more about it and get more ideas so I can like gain more knowledge about it. Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I think it should have been done a long time ago, because I mean I'm 58 now and I'm only just learning through this project about my granddad and what part, how he was in the battle, how he started in the war when he was 19 and what wars he was in. It gets you talking, and then I went out on Friday night and all we did on Friday night was sit talking about the war, so it gets people talking, but I'm just sorry it's not been done before.
Yeah, I've learnt a lot. There's a lot of people, you know, been giving all kinds of input to it from different sources. So yeah, I've learnt quite a lot. The main one really is that people who were, you know, like quite vague on the family history related to the First War, they're finding out things like tonight was a classic example. Sue brought the documents that she'd found about her granddad, and it was really enlightening.
But what we'll do...
How do you know how long he was in the army for?
It's got her there from 9th of September.
It's very important to remember these people, and this centenary, which is this year, it's very important that these people are not forgotten. It might be very far into the past, for especially the young people, but it shouldn't be forgotten, and it should be taught basically in every school, because if it wasn't for these people, none of us would be here.
Much closer to the screen. Later in Jack's life, Joe moved from Blakely to Harrogate in Yorkshire, transferring to a different division of the ISA.
And your loving son, Kallum.
It was not used. Sorry, Italian was not used. We used the game until the 14th of March.
Confused.
Marching.
And then we were talking to what's the
How disappointing.
Wow, that's real as well.
Everything that's showing here, went through eyes, it's all real.
Where have you got this?
Was it used? Was it?
Variations of cruel effects, acting more, thinking less, life's dispensed with careless ease, doing exactly as we please, as we please. Don't you ever wanna leave town? Don't you ever wanna be around? Don't you ever wanna go and just make it sound? Don't you ever wanna leave town? Don't you ever wanna be around? Don't you ever wanna?
Right, tonight is going to be the last time I lead the session. Right, I'll be here, but from next week, Tony, I think everybody's met, is going to be leading the next sessions to write our poem. So we start writing next week.
Maybe last time I'm really glad I did. Got to know a few faces, got to know a few names, and I got to know where you guys are. And I'm really looking forward now to helping get all that knowledge, all those ideas out of your head into what we're here to do, which is to write a poem together over the next 3 sessions. We're going to try and get some stories that we want to fit in there, and we'll start writing today. What we're going to do next time is the bulk of our writing. What we're going to do in the 3rd session is get the writing as good as it can be and start to rehearse it. Yeah, and Jackie's going to do a 4th session, I think, where you're going to film it. So,
Is that the final poem?
That's not how it starts. Is that the title?
I lay there at night, trying to forget the sight. They ask me where I've been, they ask me what I've seen. The stories they talk make me go white as chalk. With blood on my hands, from men from across the lands. With every blast, I wish it wouldn't last. When will it end, they ask. The stench of the trench, the slime and the grime. I dream of home, I lay here alone. Dark skies above, the stench of the gas, and a bum up my ass.
All these dark horses,
Oh man, why did I volunteer? I'm only 16 and over here, in a dirty trench, thinking of home, smoking a woody, I feel so alone. Oh man, I'm missing your tater ash, your homemade grub. Wish I was home having a pint with Dad in the pub. I've got that wrong. The explosions, the bangs, the noise in my head. I just turned around and found my mate dead. Wish I was home smelling the homemade bed, nice and safe in my feather bed. Wow.
Oh. That was brilliant. Really well done. You had a really clever one, didn't it? You had a really nice rhythm to it, didn't it? You know, and we got in the tune and we kept the tune. But when we're writing, we're going to be writing a poem. It's going to be filmed, so we're going to be writing it to read, to perform. So we can write with that in mind, and we can write thinking, you know what, I'm going to say this slower, I'm going to say this louder, I'm going to say this quieter, I'm going to pause there. And just on one hearing of that, I could see how that could be performed. Can I have one, see?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh man, why did I volunteer? I'm only 16 and over here, in a dirty trench thinking of home, smoking a woodie, I feel so alone. Oh man, missing your tater rash and your homemade grub. Wish I was with Dad having a pint in a pub. The explosions, the bangs, the noise in the head. I just turned around and found my mate dead. Wish he was home, smelling the homemade bread, nice and safe in your feather bed. You wrote that. When you're rhyming, you've got this pull between what you want to say, your tune, and your rhyming. It's pulling you, and you either solve it or you live with a glitch. What I want to say,
a very interesting progression. How we got into the poetry side, and it all came from the heart of the people that was on this project. So really good.
Well, when Tony came, I mean, everyone had a bit more part to play. You know, before he came, there was bits and bats people put in. People bought, you know, mementos from the family. But when Tony came, everyone had to think what to do. They had to put in their own mind, write things down physically. You know, they weren't copying anything. Everything was done. And Tony helped along. Tony was great.
You didn't have any possessions, so the fix would be something like, Charlie was a dead poor man. So proper becomes dead, we've lost the syllable. Charlie was a dead poor man. He didn't have any possessions. If you say didn't, he didn't, you know, I say didn't, he didn't have any possessions. Charlie was a dead poor man, he didn't have any possessions. We took 2 beats out of it. He lived a long and busy life on away peaking sessions. That last line's perfect. So you see what I mean, just adding the beat or taking the beat out, somehow on the ear makes it flow. We've got one more there, yeah?
Daddy went away to war. I see him when I sleep. Mum said he's not coming back. No, every night a week.
Right. Fred and Elsie Nolan, in love at 21. Partied on the platform, a wink and then was gone. His son would never know the man who fought and died in France. The German guns too powerful. Fred never stood a chance.
Left behind us women folk, for fog of war, mud and smoke. I left behind the life I know, to watch the lads die in fires we stoke.
Joseph was a peacer, a trainee in the mill. His pals were blown to pieces, and he was trained to kill.
Read one for us.
Taste of stew and crusty bread bring memories of home. Sat here in putrid trench, now skin and bone.
Round of applause because that's a really good. It's a really exciting evening tonight. We've got the poem coming together. I've been in now for 4 sessions, 4 times 2 hours with the group, and they're a great group, really sparky bunch, loads of characters and loads of talent as well for writing and for performing. So it's really coming together. And we started out, we brainstormed all the stories we wanted to tell, and we brainstormed all the words that we'd learned and all the evocative words from World War I, and we thought about rhymes for those. And we talked about how we know when the poem was finished, and the answer was when it was really making people feel something. So if we were going to write separately, we had to be, it's like writing a song, we had to know our tune and be all singing the same tune so we could bring verses together. So we came up with, it's a traditional poetic form called the Ballad, and it's rhyming couplets, you know, 2 lines that rhyme, and in 14 syllables each, so dum de dum de dum de dum de dum de dum de dum. So that was our tune. So we got people into that rhythm, and then they started trying to jigsaw those stories into that tune. We got loads of ideas coming in, and we tweaked those and we got them together. And as that built up over 3 or 4 sessions, we had the challenge of making them all really flow, but jigsawing them together into some sort of narrative, really. And we came up with it. We wrote a beginning and an ending last time, and I realised that they were in an external voice. It wasn't the voice of somebody who'd sort of been to war or whose dad had died in the war. It was like a storyteller, an overlooker. So it's in there now. We shared it this evening. People really liked it, and you know, I was really proud of the group tonight. And we're in there now rehearsing, people ready for filming, and it's really exciting. And we've got some powerful words, and we're going to get some powerful performances, I'm sure.
What would be really good is people learn their parts, if you learn them.
Hanging on barbed wire's got a chance of doing it. I never saw my boy again. He never saw 15. the one that gets me is, and I'll do it, a little kiss, a wave goodbye, see you soon, he said. And you, like mothers do, and you when he was dead.
Like the hardest man in Milton, the boxer Johnny Jones. He came back from the trenches, but that's a bag of bones. I mean, I never thought at my age that I'd be sat in front of a poet, you know, on a Tuesday night. I think, well, you know, late, you know what I mean? I've got better things to do. But I haven't, because I look forward to it every week, you know what I mean? I always look forward to it. It's just a pity it's coming to an end.
It's learned us a lot. It learned us, all of us, a lot about the First World War, and it's brought me and my family together because we're all in it together. My son and my mum and my brother. We don't really see each other that much, me and my brother, but it's brought us together. So I know the people that I know, Rita and everyone.
And I'm really glad that I've took part in it. We work fantastic as part of a team. We work together, we support one another, and we've learnt a lot about the World War I.
It's been quite emotional. Having worked with such great people and to create something so beautiful, it's been really, really fantastic, but tinged with a bit of sadness really.
I've learned more about history, because I've not really done history that much in my life, but I've learned more about obviously the First World War. I've actually enjoyed learning about it because I've learned a lot of things, like I've learned the dates from 1914 to 1918, learned a lot of things about like the bad things in it, like all the disasters, how terrible it was to actually be in the war.
He's brilliant, the group, always has been. Except Jackie, I don't like that.
I think it's tremendously important because there's still a lot of feeling, and a lot of people who've got relatives, alright in the distant past in a lot of cases, but have still got relatives, and they should be remembered and not forgotten. It's very important. So I think it's very important for people of Langley to have something like this on record. I think it's very, very important.
I mean, everyone from my generation would know about the Second World War. No one knows about the First. And I didn't realise how bad it was. It brings home to you, you know, what we actually went through. You can't forget it. You know, it's 100 years now. We just can't forget it. But the people who came range from, you know, people as old as me to people that big, from 6 to 7 years of age. And, you know, it's just the people in Middleton really, that it was for. People in Middleton come out for it, you know. I think if it goes out, when it goes out, people will recognise it, remember.